Thank you, Honourable Speaker Nisambule Nakasakasa. The Prime Minister, Honourable Sitiveni Lingamamanda Rambuka, Honourable Cabinet Members, Cabinet Ministers, the Honourable Leader of the Opposition, and fellow Members of Parliament. I extend to you all a very good evening and also extend warm greetings and mbulavinaka to Fijians who are tuning in to the parliamentary proceedings tonight and to those present today in the public gallery as well. I rise to deliver my response to the 2024-25 national budget, Honourable Speaker, and to add my voice to the support for it. I also wish to take this time to thank all the honourable members who have spoken before me, including honourable members from the other side who supported or will support this budget. Honourable Speaker, Fiji is now under a new leadership, a leadership that listens, a leadership that is open, a leadership that is inclusive, truthful, and a leadership that is transparent. One that dispels the glamorization of our economy for its own sake. This is reflected in a budget which puts our people at its center by deploying our very limited resources and marshalling our collective efforts as a journey that gives our people hope for the future. To the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in the global and regional context, Mr. Speaker, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, being Fiji's gateway to the world, will continue to embrace a spirit of collaboration but determined diplomacy in our international undertakings. This is to allow for an appropriate reset of relations, the advancement of global, regional, and sub-regional aspirations, the protection of Fiji's interests, and the enhancement of our engagements. To the diplomatic mission focus, Mr. Speaker, the move towards increasing Fiji's degree of economic and political cooperation among countries around the world as part of our intent vis-à-vis expanding our frontiers and diplomatic footprints globally is an admirable gesture by the coalition government. Mr. Speaker, the Ministry is deeply committed to its new diplomatic representation in Washington, D.C., in Malaysia, and Papua New Guinea, and any other future localities to enhance relations, support economic, cultural, security, and sports engagement, including, sir, the welfare of Fiji's diaspora communities in these countries. Mr. Speaker, the groundwork at these missions had to start a step back from where the previous administration took the country. New strategies have been applied to provide a robust base to rebuild relations that demonstrate the values and principles that speak of us as a foreign nation. Further, we're focused on realizing the return on investment on these deployments. We're also mindful of our position and role within the Blue Pacific continent and our responsibility to the region. The frequency and intensity of our engagements have increased substantially. Mr. Speaker, I now wish to touch very briefly on Fiji's foreign policy. As announced by the Honourable Prime Minister, the Ministry is guided by the pillars of sovereignty, security, and prosperity. The Ministry anticipates the finalization and soon launch of Fiji's first foreign policy white paper, which will set the framework and the pathway to advancing Fiji's strategic interests and goals. The Ministry further understands that this umbrella document will be anchored on a calculated direction which is grounded in our context, on our values and our aspirations. The Ministry wishes to acknowledge the support of the Australian Government Technical Advisor with expert input from our very own experienced and long-time international affairs and diplomacy personalities under the leadership of the Permanent Secretary of Foreign Affairs. We express our gratitude to all those who have shared their thoughts and experience in this project, and this includes the Honourable Leader of the Opposition. On to the Ministries Operations, Mr. Speaker. With an allocation of 43.8 million, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs will prosecute our foreign policy goals, a mandate that demands agility and a learning organization culture with streamlined systems and processes. This is supported by a modus operandi that also invests in building our capability on our workforce, system, and infrastructure. This includes supporting our diplomats and, very importantly, the repairs of our properties abroad that are in a state of disrepair after years of neglect. After finishing with one property in New Zealand, we're now focusing on 2 others, 3 in the United Kingdom, 2 in Australia, and 1 in Brussels. As we strive to deliver more, we will, Mr. Speaker, be frugal and calculated as we are very mindful of the limited resources available. In closing, Mr. Speaker, I wish to thank and commend the good work of the Ministry of Finance team in putting forth a budget that is smart under present circumstances with an eye on the future. The budget is building the confidence of our people and those who think about Fiji as a preferred tourism and investment destination under the coalition government. Our foresight, unity as a government, and ability to listen and, importantly, hearing our people is what this budget has demonstrated. Mr. Speaker, sir, I fully support the budget. But before I take my seat, sir, I wish to wish a very happy birthday to Deputy Prime Minister Honourable Ngāboka. I know he wishes I didn't do this, but I had to do it for my turangatauhu. Happy birthday, sir. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.